I want to move on to looking at some of those things that would cause that team to be dysfunctional. And how can we resolve those dysfunctions?
The model that I use is from Patrick Lencioni's 5 Dysfunctions of Teams. So as the name suggests, there are 5 dysfunctions. The first one, a lack of trust. If the members of the team don't trust each other, and this is not just about you as a leader, they need to trust you for sure, but there also needs to be trust within and between members of the team, or else you cannot be high performing. And the thing is, it's like a downward slide with these dysfunctions. Because if you don't have that trust within the team, then people are going to be reluctant to engage in constructive conflict.
Right.
They're going to be reluctant to be vulnerable. If in your meetings it's really quiet or everybody just seems to be agreeing, and you're assuming they're agreeing because they're quiet, that doesn't mean that you have genuine agreement. There may be a fear of engaging in conflict. Right? So you get this false impression that people are on board. However, because they're not genuinely on board, because they didn't engage in conflict, hear their views, work it through, then they don't want to have a decision is taken. If they don't articulate a commitment, you may think, all right, we're good to go, we're moving forward. And then you notice, oh, hold on a second. People are not doing what I told them or what we agreed we were going to do. And what you have there, you then seek to hold them accountable. And they say, but we agreed. Remember, we had this meeting and we agreed. And if they feel brave enough, they say, we agreed. We remember you telling us something.
True.
But I don't know about the we agreed part. So they're not prepared to be held accountable to the decision because they weren't part of it. They never really committed to it. And then that brings us to the 5th dysfunction, the inattention to results. Because if I never committed, you can't hold me accountable. Therefore, you're not going to get the results that you need. And so you can't have a high-performing team. So lack of trust, all right, fear of conflict, the lack of commitment, the lack of accountability, and ultimately the inattention to results would be the primary dysfunctions.
So how do I get it to perform correctly? I mean, how do I get each of them to love each other? First of all, to trust each other. You know, how do I get them to start there so that I have my high-performing team?
Okay, so we go back to the chapter we did in terms of managing others, where we looked at the building blocks of relationships. And a person, they don't have to love each other, you know, they just need to respect each other.
Yes.
They need to have empathy for each other. They need to have open and effective communication. And they need to realize that people are not clones of them. So the platinum rule needs to be enforced as right. So trust has to be built. And remember, we had an entire chapter on trust. So you need to show up as being competent. You need to show up as being of good integrity. You need to show up as genuinely wishing your people well. And you need to be consistent with that. So it can't be a cloak, an outer garment that you put on and take off. It has to be authentic. It has to be genuine. And it has to be the meta competency consistently evident in how you show up.